another J-Tech instructional aid. Today I'm going to be adjusting the bearing adjustment on the clutch and the brake squeeze and the free play, and with the distance between the on the clutch brake, on the clutch pedal rather. There's going to be 4 things I'm going to be testing for. What you'll need in this evolution is the adjustment tool, which on this side here is a 1/2 inch. That's going to be measured between the release bearing and thrust bearing. This is a 1/4 inch tool for between the fork and the bearing. Also, you're going to need a 5/8 tool, which will make the adjustments on the adjusting lug nut for the release bearing, and then a 10/1000 feelers gauge. Okay, so from here we go underneath the truck to perform the adjustment on the bearing. Okay. Well, we're underneath the truck with the clutch and the transmission. What I want to do is I want to make sure that we have a 1/2 inch clearance between the thrust bearing and the release bearing. So I put my tool up here and I check the clearance. I've got a nice 1/2 inch, it's nice and snug in between the 2 components. Then I'm going to check for the 1/4 inch gap for the forks, and that is going to be right here. See if you can see that. You see where the fork is to the thrust bearing. Okay, I'll remove that out. Everything looks good. If adjustments was needed, I would have to use my 5/8 wrench, and there is a bolt here. The operator inside the truck would engage the clutch, and I would turn clockwise to widen the gap, and I would turn counterclockwise. I'm sorry, I got that wrong. Clockwise is to decrease the gap. Counterclockwise is to increase the gap. One thing you want to make sure is when you're using your wrench, you're depressing the bolt and then making your turns clockwise or counterclockwise. Okay, and that's what is internal of the clutch. What I like to do now is do the 10/1000ths, and we're going to be measuring between the release brake and the thrust collar. All right, we're engaging the clutch. See how that moves back and forth? That's what we're going to be doing, measuring the distance between those 2. All right, I'll put my feeler gauge up there, and as the operator is depressing the clutch, my thrust bearing is going across the release bearing is going across the thrust bearing, giving me that 10/1000th of an inch. It's good to go. It's fully engaged. Release that. Now we're going to go out underneath the truck and go ahead and do the pedal. What we have here now is we have the clutch here. We're going to be measuring the travel distance of the clutch. We don't want any greater than 2 inches. What we want is 1.5 to 2 inches. Okay? So what we're doing is measuring from the top of the steering wheel to the bottom of the pedal and bringing it down. We're starting at 25.5. It's bringing down at 27. So we're within the 1.5 inch to 2 inches, and we're good to go. We've done our 4 checks. Thank you for watching my video.